Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Belly to Belly. And we're here today to talk about preparation for SelectUSA, which is now just about 2 months away. And we're joined by great friend Lenora Fisher from the Greater Peoria Economic Development Council, or better known as EPEDC. So welcome, Lenora.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's fantastic to have you. So the real goal here is to help the companies that are coming have a sense of some of the resources that are going to be at this year's SelectUSA. And probably many don't know all the resources that are available and the opportunities in Peoria. Maybe you could take a couple minutes and probably first, if you could share a little bit about Peoria and some of the industries that are really strong there, and then the EPEDC in terms of what you do to help the companies coming into the region.
Yeah, happy to. So, and just clarification, it's Greater Peoria EDC. So
Greater Peoria
EDC. Just point of clarification. So I always like to kind of start with a story, because Peoria is a small region, kind of a little bit more rural. Like most people will know Chicago as one of the big, cities and signature cities of the United States. We are about 2.5 hours south of Chicago. And a very fun story about Peoria is that the gentleman who founded the city of Chicago actually came to Peoria first, because it had river access, it has fertile soils. The opportunities here have been here large for a long time. And so Peoria has oftentimes packed an outsized punch in its impact on both the country and the world. And we're kind of this little hidden gem. So some of the industries that we've grown and we've been known through our history is we were the original whiskey city of the country, providing half of the federal government's income from our county alone because of the significant whiskey production. At that time, then Prohibition hit, so we had to reinvent ourselves, and then we grew Caterpillar Tractor Company into the global giant it is today. So that was all here, all the people, leadership, know-how, work ethic, like supply chain, whatever you need. We're here, and we are working on the next thing, which is kind of focused on, we've got Rivian, the electric vehicle supplier, is about 35 minutes away from where I'm sitting right now. Natural fiber welding, who has been invested in by Allbirds and BMW and all these big names because of their really plants not plastic mission and their disruption of the textile industry and building a better world for us and taking plastics out of things. So we are a small community that packs an outsized punch. I could talk about all the different things that are going on. There's a lot, but for the sake of time, it's a cool place, worth a visit. It's 2.5 hours south of Chicago, about 3 hours north of St. Louis, to kind of situate us.
And so the GPEDC, what the companies coming in, what are some of the ways that you help them specifically?
Yeah. So as an economic development agency, we've got 8 people on our team, and we are each tasked with helping like a different area of business needs. And we are structured to serve our businesses' growth needs. So I have a colleague who focuses specifically on workforce pipeline and workforce development, working with opportunities, connecting our businesses' employment needs with potential employees all the way through their academic career here. We have somebody dedicated to innovation and startups to help cultivate new ideas, both in existing companies and like kind of launch next products, and also getting folks off the ground or business ideas off the ground, starting from scratch. We have somebody that works with business expansion and retention. So if you have need a new facility, or if you want to bring in new equipment, like somebody that can help align resources and opportunities there. And then we're all focused on connecting businesses with the people and opportunities both locally and abroad to help our businesses just grow. We want to help them get more customers and more sales and just be more successful. So our goal is business success.
Sure. So it sounds like you do a lot of facilitation, really, to help them connect within the ecosystem, all the really good resources. And some folks have industry specialties, but others are maybe more broad in terms of their connection. Well, that's awesome. And so obviously SelectUSA, massive event. Some people have called it the World Cup of US market entry, or maybe the Super Bowl. But why is it that you all participate? What is it about the event that brings you back?
So we participate because, I'm sorry, I'm pausing. I'm thinking like, so my first in-person event was last year. So I'm a newbie to SelectUSA. I did do a virtual trip during COVID, but COVID kind of disrupted all of those plans. So the reason that I initially went to SelectUSA and the reason that I'm going back is that one, there are hundreds, probably thousands of business leaders there that are like, it's an audience of people that are looking to understand this market, understand the potential, understand the trade laws and the workforce laws, the labor laws, all the different aspects of operating a business in the United States. And it's the US is kind of showcase an info session, training session for how to do that. And then also the opportunity for us to connect with people that are looking for opportunities in the state. So we as a state entity and a regional entity, we get to kind of share what the assets of our community are and just make those connections. But I would sell it. I would like really encourage people to come because there is no other like organization that does that quite so effectively. I mean, it is the training program that I would be looking for if I was trying to go someplace else. So we're providing that here for companies that are looking to enter the US market.
Yeah, I mean, we've been at this for 10 years and I don't know of another event where every state participates. All the resources from the federal government are there, and yeah, just you can kind of do it all. It seems like in one 3-day, 4-day event.
Yeah.
So thinking about the companies that are coming, some will have been to the U.S. before and maybe done, maybe they're already going here, but looking to expand. Others, this will be their first trip to the U.S. and most probably their first trip to SelectUSA. Are there some tips that you would share of ways they might get the most out of not just SelectUSA itself, but the trip to the U.S. and really leverage the time they're here?
Yeah, I think that my recommendation would be it is a jam-packed program, and from what I saw of the agenda, they've got great kind of lectures and town halls and kind of different opportunities to learn. So you've got your sessions, and then you've got this giant exhibitor fair, and then all these other kind of surrounding programs. So there were some tech startups and some innovation companies that had opportunities. There's the Expo fair where the state booths are, and then the different programs, or you could have one-on-one meetings and coordinate one-on-one meetings through the app. I think kind of with all those things in mind, like I know as a state entity, like the first time I went both virtually and in person, like I reached out to schedule meetings on the app profile. So I think maybe one, make sure you get that app profile built and use it. Two, that there is a lot of exchange that can happen there. But I think the whole event is pretty overwhelming. I think there's a lot of people there. So, it's easy, like there's just so many things that you could do that from a state perspective, I think if you wanted to find me, the most effective probably way to do that would be to go to the Illinois booth and talk to us, because I genuinely think that those conversations I had at that booth kind of were even more effective and more valuable than even some of the one-on-one meetings and different sessions. So that would be my suggestion, is like go to the state booths, like kind of connect with the people that are there that like are the experts on their states, and just kind of learn about the opportunities. Or if you don't have an idea of where you want to go, just talk to them all. Like if they give you a passport and kind of learn, it's a great way to kind of hear all the best about the different options that are available.
That's really interesting. And certainly, yeah, as you say, the app is super powerful to make the matchmaking meetings, but also one of the limitations is those meetings that last year, I think they were 20 minutes or 15 minutes. And so you may want to talk for 18 minutes or 22 minutes or something, or 30 minutes. And so, yeah, having a little more flexibility and having longer conversations, depending on your agenda, I suppose, could be really valuable. Plus, you also control when you have the meeting a bit more if you walk around and see people. So, it's really good advice. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly that time goes too, and taking advantage of it probably really important. Is how how do you look at follow up? Because you finish these events, you got a stack of cards, you have all these conversations. How do you deal with that?
Me as a state person, or what would my recommendation be?
Maybe both. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it probably shouldn't be that much different, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, good point. I think so with follow-up, so what we did was kind of gathered the contacts made, and then we identified kind of a team to do the kind of ongoing cultivation. So follow-up, scheduling follow-up calls, like, just trying to gauge interest, respond to any of the specifics that were talked about in the meetings, and then just continue to build the relationship over time. I think that, and from a business perspective, similar. I mean, you're gonna make a lot of contacts there, and it can be overwhelming, and you'll learn a lot. So I think really having your business objective in mind, like what are you trying to accomplish, and like kind of, I mean, it happens every year, so you're not going to get it all done in 1 year. Plan to go a couple times if you can. I know it's an expensive trip, but like that, it is there's so much you can get from it. I think that some businesses probably, have a couple follow-ups. Businesses make business decisions, so they probably, they're targeting, or they're going to follow up with the things that make the most sense for their objectives and needs. But I mean, realize that the opportunity to, I mean, some will hope, I don't know, site select, some will hire site selectors. There will be site selector booths there to help them, or kind of middle people to help them navigate the market in a longer term opportunity. Have a good CRM process. Like, you're going to get a lot of contacts, and kind of know know in advance how to like how you want to tackle it, if you can, or just wing it and then go back next year with a plan.
Wait, yeah, you have to start somewhere, right? It's
Yeah.
however you are, incrementally get better. I like that. So
Either way, it will be valuable. There's no, it's always,
right.
it's going to be valuable no matter what. So
Yeah, my wife has a saying, we both do a lot of networking, and we've never been disappointed when we leave our house, right? It's, if you get out there, good things happen. And yeah, so no, I love that. So Lenora, this has been fantastic. I can't wait to see you at SelectUSA. And what we'll do is we'll put your contact info in the description. So please, to the audience, please reach out to Lenora, get more information on Greater Peoria. Certainly have some pre-contact with her, so when you get to the event, the conversations you're having are, sort of next level. And again, thank you so much for taking the time today.
my pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.